Hi, this is Mrs. Nasland, and today we'll be doing Unit 3, Lesson 12, which is Explore Two-Digit Divisors. So today we'll be talking about how we can do a two-digit divisor, and in this case, divide it by a three-digit number. And we're going to use some estimation of our first digit of our quotient to help us solve these bigger division problems. So I'm going to start by writing out my problem. I'm going to put 28. I'm going to write all of my problems over here, and I'll just keep erasing them just so we have more room. 28, and I'm going to still use our box method that we've been using, and I'm going to write 403 over here. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to try rounding my divisor. So think of a 28. I would round that number to 30, and I'm just going to write it down here so I remember. And I'm rounding because when we're dividing bigger numbers, sometimes if we use a rounded number, it makes it easier for us. So I'm going to think, okay, instead of thinking 28 into 40, I'm going to think 30 into 40. Well, I know, and I jumped right to 40 instead of 30 into 4 because I know that it goes into 4, or it doesn't go into 4. It's too small. So I'm going to jump right to 40. I'll draw my line here. I'm going to think, how many times does 30 go into 40? Well, it goes one time. So I'm going to use it just for the dividing step. And then I'm going to jump back to my regular divisor. So I'm going to say 1 times 28 is 28. And I go ahead and subtract those two numbers. 40 minus 28 would be 12. All right, and I'm going to move my 12 up here just like we've been doing. So I'm just going to draw my little line, rewrite my 12 really small. All right, and now I have 123. So I'm going to use this estimated one again for the dividing. So I'm thinking, how many 30s go into 123? Well, I'm going to count by 30. 30, 60, 90, and if I add 3 more on, I'm going to get to 120. That's pretty darn close to 123. So that was 4. And then I'm going to actually do my actual multiplication. So 28 times 4. I might have to actually write some of the multiplication out because they're a little bit bigger. 28 times 4. So I'm going to think, okay, 8 times 4 is 32. I'll put my 2 here, carry my 3. 4 times 2 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 112. So I'm going to have 112. So I'm going to say minus 112. 3 minus 2 equals 1. And 2 minus 1 equals 1. So I end up with 14 remainder of 11. And using that estimation worked because that is the correct answer, is 14 remainder of 11. So I'll write that in there, 14R11. All right, let's try another one and see if it works. So I'm going to go ahead, and the only way for me to erase this is to erase the whole thing. So I did the first one here, 14 remainder of 11. We're going to jump on to number 2 here. I'm going to go ahead and erase. Maybe it'll erase for me. Erase, erase. Oh, it's not wanting to erase. All right, well, that's okay. We'll go ahead and try this one here. We'll just do it down here. So we've got 41. We have 41 divided by 486. I'm just going to rewrite this. 41 divided by 800, sorry, and 61. All right. All right, so I'm going to start, and I'm going to think, okay, what can I round 41 to? Well, I could round that to 40. It's really close, and it's a lot easier to divide 40. And then I go ahead and jump over, and I'm going to think, okay, I know right away that 40 doesn't go into 8. So I'm not going to draw my line until after the 86 here. All right, so 40 into 86. Well, 40, 80, it only goes in 2 times. And then I'm going to multiply these ones. Now I can do this one in my head. I'm going to think, okay, 4 times would be about 82. Go ahead and do my subtraction. 6 minus 2 is 4. And I can just bring my 4 right on over here, so I get 41. And now I'll do my estimation. 40 goes into 41, well, 1 time. And again, when I multiply, I'm going to multiply by the real number. 1 times 41 is 41. And I know that 41 minus 41 is 0. So I have no remainder. And that is also the correct answer, 21. Okay, so far my estimating of the first part of my divisor is working. All right, let's try one more here. 14 into 306. So I'm going to write 14 into 306. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. If I estimated this 14, I would round it up to 15. 15 is a lot easier number to work with. And then I'm going to try it. 15, I know it doesn't go into 3, so I'm going to jump right to 30 and draw my line. 15 goes into 32 times. And then again, not multiplying 2 times 15, but 2 times 14, which I know is 28. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 30 minus 28, and I'm going to get 28, and I'm going to get 2. I'm going to slide my 2 right on over here. I'm going to take my 15 into 26. Well, 15 only goes into 26 one time. Then I'll do 1 times 14 is 14. Go ahead and subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So I ended with a 21 remainder of 12, which is also the correct answer. So estimating is a technique I can use to do some of these bigger division problems as we work through them. That concludes our lesson for today.